Hello and welcome to the Agile Hive review for February 2024. In this monthly review, the team behind Agile Hive will show you what we have accomplished in the last 4 weeks since the last review in January, where I was mysteriously absent. There is a minor change to the important note thing here. As my colleague Niels mentioned last time already, we are now advertising this review video on different social media platforms like LinkedIn, for example. So this video will reach a wider audience now. So now it's more important than ever, if you do not want to appear in the video, but you want to participate in sharing something or asking a question, and do not want to appear in the video, please let us know, then we can edit that out in the afterwards. All right. So as usual, I'm going to start with what we actually achieved in the last 4 weeks, and here you will see some tickets or some issues that count towards some of the features that we shared in the roadmap for this PI already. Starting with the first one. Sorry. From not the next release, but a release in the near future, it will be possible to trigger a recalculation for properties for a single art. When you access the project settings from an art project and access the Agile Hive part in the settings here, you will be able to calculate the properties for a single PI for that art. So that means that all the team issues for this art will be taken and will be considered, will be calculated together towards the properties of the art issue or the art issues that belong to a specific PI, which you can choose here in this drop-down menu. And also these will propagate it up to their parent issues on a solution or portfolio level, so that you can only recalculate a minor part of all the issues in your Hive, and not, as with the manual recalculation right now, every single issue that belongs to Agile Hive in any way, even if it's assigned to PIs that are years in the past and have no real relevance for you at this moment. Our goal with this is to reduce the overall system, to improve the overall system performance and reduce the load on the system, because we are aggregating way less issues here than with the manual recalculation. As with the manual recalculation, there will be only one job for this to be running at this at a certain time. So if another art is or has triggered this process in the past and is still running, you from your art won't be able until the other job has finished. So this is a drawback right now, but we are working on a solution to combine multiple recalculation processes, for example, for a solution or a portfolio, so that it aggregates all the issues in the same branch, let's say branch, and calculates them so that it can speed up the process a little bit. But still only for a certain aspect in time, a PI or half a year on a portfolio level, for example, so that it does not consider all issues that are under Hive management. And with this, hopefully we will be able in the far future to remove the manual recalculation altogether, because you will only need this once you feel the need to recalculate any properties in Agile Hive. The second block of issues here belong to the shared service feature. I should have started the other way around, but we have presented you already that you can link shared service team issues to art issues via the Agile Hive hierarchy link. And up until now, it was not possible to represent the issue hierarchy in that shared service team issue as well. As you might know, when you are on a team issue, a story that is actually linked to a feature that is linked to a capability, and a capability may be linked to an epic, we have this context panel here on the far right side of the issue detail view that shows the issue hierarchy. And we also implement that for shared service team issues now, as you can see here in the screenshot. Also, it is now possible for the shared service team issues to appear on the art report. Again, only issues that are linked to a feature that is assigned to this specific PI will be considered here. For example, I have here issues in 2 different shared service projects. Don't mind the icons. These are on a test system, and all the team icons, the project icons have the same little UFO, I think. And so they appear the same, but on your systems, they will have different icons because you considered you configured your project to have different icons, I think. So, so here we have a few issues that are linked to the issue BH84, and you can see on different teams here, and they are in some way connected to that PI, so that Agile Hive knows they belong to this certain PI. This is either done by looking at the sprint field of those issues. If the sprint end date is within the PI range, then these are considered. Second thing is due date. If you set the due date on an issue, like with the external issues, you might know that already. Then this due date has to be within the PI, and then this issue is also considered to belong to this PI. Or the third part, you can set the PI custom field to contain the PI value. And then these issues will be aggregated and shown here on the art report belonging to their respective features. And also something that we took over from the team issues. The teams involved field on an art issue will also show the shared service teams now. As here we can see with the calculated value, the purple background, but also with the blue background, the manually set value. It's possible to select the shared service teams now and assign them to an art issue. And then it will appear here in the teams involved field. So moving on, the next thing on the roadmap for this PI was we want to improve the overall loading performance of the team breakout boards, or the breakout board and the breakout board overview in general. And for this, we already presented you that we split the request for the breakout board so that only the main team, the team from which you open the breakout board view, will be loaded, and all other teams in that art won't be loaded until you expand them. Because on the team breakout board, only the main team is visible at once, initially, and all other teams have to be manually expanded to show their issues and then to render their dependencies as well. But up until now, all issues have been loaded from every team, regardless if it's been shown or not. And now we changed that, or in the past, we changed it already to only load the main team. And now we translated this mechanism to the breakout board overview. The breakout board overview is the team breakout board, but opened from an art project. So here, every team is visible initially, because every team is in an expanded state. So all team issues have to be there right from the start. But still, the view behaves now like the team breakout board, and it loads every team individually once they're opened. This means that the breakout board overview will fire more requests now to load every single team. This might seem like it takes longer. This might actually take longer on the breakout board overview, but considering that this will reduce the impact on the team level once you open this from the team view, it will actually help the system to perform better. It's complicated, I think. If there are any questions, you can ask them later about this topic. So coming over to 3 bug fixes, and the first one I think is the most important one because as some of you might have seen that we released the version 3.65 in the past, only to take it down from the marketplace a few days after that, because we noticed that with a lot of data in the system and like many PIs in the past, the performance impact was not that noticeable as we might have hoped. And we had to fix that. The reason for that is that for the calculation of the velocity and also for the forecast on the burn-up chart, which also uses the velocity, not just the 5 last PIs were aggregated, but every PI in the past was aggregated. And more specifically, the independent issues. You know, I've used that word in the last reviews a lot. The issues that are not connected to parent issues, team issues that don't belong to a feature but are planned into sprints from the teams. Regardless, they are the culprits for this. I have to say, and with this, we did not just load those independent issues for the last 5 PIs or PI sets when you opened the reports from the solution train level, but with every PI in the past. And that led to a massive increase in loading time of the overall report. Not what we expected. I think we are very sorry for this. But we also released this bug fix here individually as a hotfix, and we heard already that this fix helped to reduce this problem. Yeah. Again, we are sorry for this inconvenience. Yeah. And the last 2 bug fixes are not yet released, but they also will be released in one of the next releases, because they're already done. We had a slight interference with the CSS from another plugin. The Agile Tools and Filters for Jira plugin. We and their CSS. Sorry. As you can see here in the screenshot, with our sprint lozenge that would be displayed here, where the sprint 1 is written here, it pushed down some buttons from their plugin, so we adapted our CSS to reflect this and not lead to this issue. And the last one that's also been fixed already is we have fixed a null pointer during a program board property. No, a null pointer in the program board property calculation during the manual recalculation process. This too will be released with the next release. Sorry. So are there any questions regarding these issues here?
There was one question to the shared service team functionality, when it will be available. I said I expect them to be available within the next months, but maybe you can give a better assumption or estimation. Yeah.
So I'm scrolling down here to the overview of the top 3 features that we planned for this PI. And as you can see here, we also plan to show the shared service teams on the breakout board. But I think that the issues I showed here, especially the display on the reports, has enough value on its own to justify a release of those features already done in one of the next releases. But we will have to test this very thoroughly, because the shared service issues, as I said, can also impact the performance of the system when calculated incorrectly. So we will have to make sure that this does not happen. And in our current sprint, we have a task planned to test this more thoroughly with more demo data and adjust our test pipeline to reflect this. So I would say yes, the next month, but hopefully it's still February or early March that we that you can expect this first version of the shared service teams. I heard another ping.
That was me, and I wanted to ask the same question that Christian asked. How to specify shared service teams? Is it the same as with external dependencies, that when you have a dependency, that it automatically is being shown as an external dependency, no matter where it comes from? And in this case, when you link an issue that is not from the project hierarchies, and as a parent of child of relations, does that automatically count as a shared service, or is there any specification in the project hierarchies that you have to make in order to make a shared service team shared service team?
Yes, the last one. The last one. We have our own tab group in the project hierarchies that says shared services, and there you can specify teams or projects to be shared service projects. And once you've done that, then you're able to use the Agile Hive hierarchy link to actually link issues from these projects to art issues. So yes, one more manual step is required.
Okay, just to make sure, that would also mean that in order to display this correctly, that not only the teams within the project hierarchies that work in a safe hierarchy need to have one project per team, but also every shared service would have to have its own project in order to be displayed correctly, because it doesn't look at boards, but it looks at projects, whether it is a team or not.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
There was another ping. I'm not looking at the meet because I'm on the shared tab.
Well, the second ping was from Peter, actually. But there was another question in the chat. We've often had the problem that an Agile Hive update got stuck and only a system we would help. Do other customers have the same problem? Just kind of a question to the other customers, actually.
Yeah, but this is the Patrick, you might know already what I'm referring to. We actually fixed that a few releases back with the clearance of the property calculation queue that was responsible for that, right?
Yeah, we do have some background threads in place, which are continuously calculating properties for Agile Hive when some issues change. And the problem with that was that when this graph in the background had still issues to calculate, and you would disable Agile Hive or update Agile Hive, which is disable and enable again, then that wouldn't work, because the process would wait for the queue to finish. And we fixed this, I think, 1 or 2 releases ago, so that, Susanna says it was fixed with Agile Hive Suite 375. 65.1.
No, this was the 65.1 was just the hotfix I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but it's since 65.0 was a feature release. Yeah, it could be that it was the latest release, actually. Yeah, so we fixed it with the latest release, and that should not occur again. If it does, please open a bug ticket for us. We tested this a lot and hope that it is fixed now. So regarding the shared services, will there be a possibility to specify they're only the projects which are within Hive, or also the non-Hive projects? I don't exactly understand the question.
So I think that was in a review, 2 or 3 reviews back, where we showed that feature where you can select shared service projects or shared service teams, or mark projects as shared service teams. It will only consider projects that are not yet linked within the project hierarchies. So if a team is actually in another art or is under an art, it's not available as a shared service project, shared service team / team project. So that means a team that is already fixed to an art, to a specific art, cannot be a shared service team because it belongs to an art and therefore is not shared.
Okay, understood. Thank you. That I meant actually regarding the non-Hive projects. Yeah, the projects which are not within the hierarchy currently. Yeah. So thank you.
So, reading through the chat, is there another specify?
No other questions as far as I see.
Yeah, the progress on the project on the property recalculation as well as the manual recalculation is still an issue. But as this is a bit more difficult to achieve, we just opted out for the process is still running lozenge that shows you if the recalculation of that will show you that the progress of the recalculation is still ongoing. So, are there any more questions? Yes, there are more questions. PI objectives. At team level, we have plan, actual visible disturbance. Art level that is missing. Yes, because on the art, do you mean that the story points are not visible on the art level objectives? Because that's intentionally. We only show the story points on the team level objectives. Christian.
Yes, I think as soon as we have objectives at the art level, we don't have similar functionality as we have at the team level. So we could not link either features or see the feature points from features that are linked to the art level.
You can link them. That should work, but there's no custom field for story points on the art level, so that does not work as with the team level issues. And we did not show the story points from the property values that we calculated here on the art level issues. Yeah, so these are not intended to work the same way as of now. Sorry.
Okay, thanks.
So one question was from Thomas Dial. We are on version 364.3. So when we update, it will stuck. It doesn't always. It isn't always stuck when you update. But if there is something left in the queue, it will wait for the queue to finish. So there is a way how you can confirm if there's anything in the queue left. There's one endpoint you could call to see that. Maybe that would be good for you to see if the queue is empty, and then you can safely update. Yeah, otherwise you would have to wait until the queue is empty, which can take a while. So it seems to be stuck. Actually, it just waits a lot of time. So it could take like a couple of hours in the worst case. Right. Maybe I can look the endpoint for you up and put it in the chat here. Another question is sorting plan business value and actual business value via JQL queue does not work. maybe due to the data type, is this intended?
That I think we would have to look this up. I can't give you any answer to that right now. Sorry.
I would assume that you can sort by them, but I don't know if it doesn't work. We would have to look at it.
Okay, thank you. So, are there any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going back to the other tab now. Oh, sorry. Something's wrong with my voice today. Yeah. Okay. Having another look at the planned PI for us. Like I already described, shared service teams, there is still the functionality missing that we want to display the shared service teams on the breakout board. But as I mentioned, it might still be valuable to release the features so far so that you can benefit from what we have implemented as of now already. With the recalculated properties for project and PI, I just showed that we have implemented this for the art level right now, but now we have to extrapolate this and implement it for the solution and for the portfolio level as well, so that you can combine the calculation for more arts into one request. And the loading performance of the breakout board, like I said, we have implemented the loading functionality for the team breakout board, now as well for the breakout board overview. What's still missing is the display or the calculation of the dependencies, because right now the dependencies, they need the issues to be present in the front end to render their dependencies and the criticality between them. So we have to implement another mechanism for that, so that you can see the red bubbles, for example, that show critical dependencies in a team, even if that team is not yet loaded. So this is something that we will have to implement in the next 2 sprints, or in the next 6 weeks, until at least the PI for us finishes, because after that there's only the IP iteration where we won't work on these features anymore. So there's the old review still linked here. Should have removed that one, but once we stop the recording and upload this video to YouTube, we will attach the new file here, or we'll attach the link here, so that you can rewatch this video, this review, or share it with your colleagues if you want to. As well, you can find it on YouTube now, as I said, so you can just search for it to share it with your colleagues. You do not actually need this page. But in case you want to access what I mentioned here regarding the implemented issues in the last 4 weeks, then it's handy to have this review page at hand. And once you have that, you can always click here to access the review immediately. So, if there are no further questions, I think that will conclude the review for today. Ah, damn. Looking at the chat once more. Okay, Patrick posted the endpoint. Okay, right. Yeah, then I will say goodbye. See you next time. It's the 12th of March. 12th of March, I think, the next review. See you then. Have a good month.